Welcome to the Polaris Adventures podcast. I'm your host, Jared Christie. My guest today is right on the largest trail system in the entire state. And when I say right on it, you can throw a rock from his shop and hit the trail system. He also sits on roughly 47 county, city, and state boards in his community and sleeps an average of 15 minutes a day. Please welcome to the show, Dana Heller, the owner of Trailhead Adventures in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Dana, how are you?
I'm good, Jared. Thank you very much. I do
Is
sleep
that all
a little
correct?
more than that.
A little
Once
more
in a
than
while.
that.
Yeah.
Dana, you just wrapped up your summer season and you're headed into the fall. How's everything going?
Summer's been interesting. It's been great. We always focus on what we thought we needed to feel more like non-weekend times. And this summer, without really changing a lot, it's come to be really busy on the off season, like Sunday, Monday through Thursday. And that part's been good. Overall, business is up and we've had a lot of fun. So it's been.
Let's talk about Trailhead Adventures. Tell me more about Rice Lake, the town, the location, all the fun facts where you're at.
Sure. Rice Lake is population base isn't necessarily as large as the area that it supports. Rice Lake has more national flag hotels. It has more fast food, sit-down restaurants, a lot of different things that people come from all the resort areas around and come to Rice Lake for shopping and all the important places like the Menards and Walmarts and stuff like that. But more importantly, there's a lot of social interaction. There's theaters, bowling alley. There's a lot of things that people can do in Rice Lake. Plus, we're at a very interesting point that we have some of the best ATV trails in the entire state. They go north of us, and a lot of hiking trails. We're right on the Ice Age Trail, Scobia Trail. So there's a number of different places that people can get out, whether it's horseback riding, biking, hiking, fishing. All those things are right in the Rice Lake area.
You guys are the hub for resorts all around the area, aren't you?
That's right. And Rice Lake has more commerce, more businesses than any of the other areas. And a lot of the little lakes and resorts and things like that, people need a place to go to find different restaurants and different places to shop. We have a mall, we have downtown shops, and a lot of things that aren't available in some of the other small towns. So people drive 60 to 100 miles just to come to Rice Lake for restaurants and shop.
And you're a whopping 2 hours from Minneapolis.
Yeah, people ask us all the time, so how far are you from the Twin Cities? And we say just far enough. So it works out pretty good.
And it makes it easy for people to, let's say, make a day trip or a weekend getaway.
That's right. For us, people can make the trip up and just come in for the day, go out riding, and then maybe go to a restaurant and then head back home. But otherwise, they could stay overnight and see some of the other things and visit the city as well.
Where do most of your riders come from?
Interesting, a lot of people come from Illinois, Iowa, and then, of course, Minnesota, as well as locals. But interestingly, a lot of people come from Iowa because they're used to being outdoors, but they don't have trees and trails like we have here. So they come here to experience the backwoods stuff that they have more farms and fields, and we got trees and trails.
Now, you mentioned all the great reasons to come to Rice Lake. What made you choose Rice Lake?
Well, it's like because it's a commerce hub, it was kind of an interesting thing. I visited another outfitter in a different location, and my wife and I were on our anniversary, and we went there and just visited, thought, you know what, this is a great idea. We should come back and do this sometime. And when we saw it, we came back after our anniversary weekend, and I talked to my wife, and I said, you know, that's a really good idea. That would work really well in Rice Lake. What do you think? And my wife said, well, check into it. And so we did. That was our last anniversary that we don't have side-by-sides. So now we have them every year, and we're able to get out and have a lot of fun, meet a lot of people. So for us, it's a family-owned business. It started with my wife and I, and we have my son's girlfriend that help as well. So for us, it's become a lot of interesting people and being able to meet a lot of different people from all over the.
So Dana, as an anniversary gift, you gave your wife a business?
No, I think she gave it to me, but but it worked out pretty well. And it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
So for me, what makes the location so special, and probably for all the people that come visit you, is you're literally right on the longest trail in the entire state. What's that like?
Well, we're right on the Wild Rivers Trail. The Wild Rivers Trail is the longest off-road trail in the state of Wisconsin. It goes all the way to Lake Superior. It's 103 plus miles. of no driving on roads, so you can ride on a trail the entire way. Interestingly, right out of our parking lot, right in our parking lot, if you go left, which is north, out of our parking lot, that's the longest off-road trail in the state. If you go to the right into Rice Lake, the trail dead ends. So that becomes the shortest off-road trail in the state of Wisconsin. So people have to turn left, they have to go north, and they can have a lot of fun.
That's hilarious. If you do a quick search on the Wild River State Trail, and this is my hardcore research that I do for this show, you pass through Douglas, Washburn, and Barron counties in northwest Wisconsin. You also pass tons of rivers and streams. You're part of the St. Croix National Scenic Byway, and you kind of, skirt a half a dozen towns. That's a heck of a trail. Plus, you go all the way to Lake Superior.
Right. Yep. And some of the people where it starts, it's kind of a flat grade, but the interesting thing is the Wild Rose Trail actually interconnects with some of the best off-road trails in the northern part of Wisconsin. And you can be right on the trails and get into some of the stuff that you can drive 2-3 days and just keep on going. Hopefully with a place to stay overnight in between.
Have you ridden the entire trail? Have you taken it all the way to Lake Superior?
I have. It goes up through some great areas through past Spooner up to Trigo, Mainong, and beyond up into Ashland, and then it goes across the northern part of the state. So there's some great riding and a lot of fun in different terrain and the different things that you can see as you go north. It really does change a lot in like even how the trails are groomed. It goes from a rose stone gravel to a slate. So even the conditions of the trail change somewhat as well.
Now, do people run the entire trail in a day, or is that more of a 2-day, multiple day ride?
People usually go from us, and then we direct them into some of the other trails. Like we have one specific that's called Spider Loop, and it lasts 6.5 to 7.5 hours. It goes past a number of different restaurants and restrooms, which is kind of important. I get moms asking all the time, it's like, so do we have to pack toilet paper? It's like, no, it's okay. We got places to stop. But the restaurants, there's a lot of restaurants that you can stop at along. And we like to send people to restaurants that we know they're going to have good food, good service, things like that. And we tell people, you know what? Just because we give you a name of a couple restaurants, that doesn't mean you can't stop at each one and have appetizers or cheese curds or whatever else. And you could stop at all, but you might be a little bit late getting back. But other than that, it's kind of fun.
So you're telling me you guys offer a TP free trail?
TP free. Yep, that's right. They do provide it along the way if need be.
Okay, so you got restaurants. What about places that are interesting along the trail? Maybe it's a waterfall or maybe it's an overlook. What are some of the highlights that you send people to?
Well, there are a few places that you can go to, waterfalls on the northern section, destination places to go. But more than that, it's just the backwoods trails that are basically logging trails that are and somewhat groomed. So they're very, very well marked. So you can see where the trails are. And with Polaris Ride Command, we actually can put an actual loop on their dash that they can follow. And if you didn't have that Ride Command dash, it would be almost impossible to pick the trail and try to find it on a paper map. So we do that frequently, and people come back. And so far, everyone we sent on the loop, everyone's made it back. We haven't lost a single person yet, which is good. So
do you promote that on your website? Like everyone's made it back?
We don't, but so far people have said that they have made it and they go through the loop and they've come back and said, you know what, if we didn't have that Ride Command dash, if we didn't have the mapping system, we wouldn't be able to figure out where we are or how we get there. And it does make a difference.
Do you have a favorite part of the trail that you enjoy?
I do. There's a section that goes down to it's called Chit Chat. It's a restaurant right on the trail, and that section of the trail that drops down on a dog leg on the loop that we send people on is one of the deeper, darker woods area that there's frequently a little mud and a little bit narrower trails. But it's really kind of a neat area. It comes down and then comes out to a campground and a restaurant right on Big Chautauqua Lake, which is a beautiful, large lake. And then people go back up, and then it joins into the Tuscovia Trail, which is another state trail that goes down into Birchwood. So it's a great loop that really does give people a lot of different terrain, a lot of experience in the backwoods that you can't really get to if you don't know where that trail is. So it's a lot of fun.
We're just about to hit fall. How special is this time of year for you?
I'll tell you what, people that don't live up here don't know how beautiful the trees when they turn. And the other thing is, like I said before, a lot of our people come from Illinois, Iowa, and things like that. Well, their trees don't turn as soon as what they do up here because we're a little further north. So the fall color tours that we send people on is just amazing. It's gorgeous. The colors, the trees, and you're in trees. It's a very dense area. So we in the fall time we're getting prepped for it. People go out two by two by two, couples, mother and moms and kids, moms and girls, dads and sons. But a lot of times in the fall, it's our two-seaters that go out more than anything because everyone wants to ride together. And so it becomes a very busy time. In fact, October is our busiest month of the year. And I wouldn't think that, but just because of the fall color tours, people really want to go out and see it.
I think for me, my favorite part of fall is no bugs.
Yeah. Well, I tell people too, if you slow down, the mosquitoes can keep up. But if you don't slow down too much, they can't fly as fast as you can go. That's a good repellent.
I have been lucky enough to do part of this trail with you. And I think for me, there are sections where the trees are kind of make a canopy over the trail. And when you've got a canopy and you've got leaves that are suddenly hitting that sort of golden color, boy, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like a tree tunnel. It's like you go through it and it's everywhere. And then as you're driving down the trails, the leaves are blowing up behind you and things. It's very nice. It's picturesque. The other thing is it's a little bit cooler, so there's less dust, and so the trails are a little bit softer. So it's really a little quieter even. So it's really unique time.
What's that window of time? It's got to be a few weeks.
Late September, probably mid-September through mid-October. And then just never know what's going to happen in October. We could have a foot of snow, which we haven't seen in a couple of years, but we could use a little snow this year, but not that early.
I feel like you're reading right into my next question because once fall ends, you guys start prepping for winter. And yes, we've had a couple of not so great winters recently, but in a normal year, what's the season like?
Well, the fall season's beautiful. I mean, it's a little chillier in the morning, but the afternoons get to be very nice, warm, dress in layers so people are able to take some extra warmth off. But as we get closer into the late fall season, we actually have a number of North Stars, the fully enclosed heated and air conditioned machines that are glass all the way around. And those are great for small kids, older people. In fact, every year, we've had someone come in that's 95, 96 years old, and they go out in machines and they have a blast. It's a lot of fun. So in the fall, you can choose something like that, and then you're able to take it out no matter what the weather. Even if it does rain or snow, people don't seem to mind because they're enclosed. And you have heat if you need it. In the afternoon, you have air. So there you go.
There you go. There you have it. And eventually you'll get plenty cold when winter comes. And in Wisconsin, you've got snowmobile trails for days and days and days.
Snowmobile trails are amazing. We have a huge number of ATV trails, but the snowmobile trails are 2 to 3 times more trails in the winter than what we have in the summer. Plus, here our lakes freeze. So some of the snowmobile trails actually traverse lakes. So that gives us even bigger area that we're able to travel on snowmobile trails. Plus, we do have the side-by-sides that are fully enclosed. Even in the wintertime, November, December, January, we actually are booked up pretty close on our North Stars because people still want to be able to get out and about.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it makes it really nice. So that's access that you can't get a lot of other places. And people come here, even in the winter, just to drive that trail. It's nice.
Dana, how did you guys get connected with Polaris Adventures?
Well, initially it was just making a phone call and reaching out, doing a little research. And then the people that reached back to me to inquire about, who we are, where we are, all that interesting stuff, they were very helpful in giving me insight, information, what some of the parameters were. And they were instrumental in creating an image of what it's going to be, give me insight into the things to expect before we ever got to the point of jumping through all the hoops. And it wasn't terrible. It was actually pretty good. And then it was just a matter of having fun and deciding what we want to do.
Been 4 years for you guys so far with Adventures. How's that gone?
Yep. It's actually been more than that now, 5, but It has
Okay.
been very good. And I have to tell you, the support from Polaris has been tremendous. Anytime you need something, their support system, there's a Ask Polaris button that you can push, and then you just ask a question. And the response has been tremendous. They always give you answers immediately. So anytime you have a question, and anytime if you ever have an issue with parts or a warranty or anything, they have been more than unbelievable in how they help make sure that keep you out running and keep you on the road.
Well, that's awesome, Dana. Enjoy the rest of your off-road season. Best of luck this upcoming winter, and thanks so much for being on the show.
I appreciate your time as well, and your the questions that you asked and things. I do greatly enjoy it. And again, we hope to welcome you back again to come out this fall.
100%. Well, be sure to like and follow the Polaris Adventures podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, and we will talk to you again soon. Remember, you belong out here.
Thank you.